Ooh, might make your head blow off.
Hey yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, Alpha Male God, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
Say it with me now. Alpha Male God, 51 Spade, a.k.a. the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
You know how we do it. We have two topics in 1 hour. The first topic is, when your significant other does something new in bed that pleases you, do you enjoy the moment and want more, or do you get inside your head and wonder where they got that new trick from? And our second topic of the night is being, how could you know your significant other is cheating if you haven't even discovered that they're unhappy? Pretty exciting topics.
Sure.
So we're going to start with the first one, which is, when your partner does something new, do you wonder where they got it from, or are you relishing in the moment? This is my topic specifically because I wondered. Recently, I had a new experience and I enjoyed the experience at the same time for a second, not for long. I'm like, well, he's never done that before. Where did he get that from? So it made me pose the question on Twitter, and I think I had some feedback, and I think the answer was a little bit of both. And that's a male perspective also. That it was, a little bit of both, kind of like me. Like, in the moment, of course you're enjoying it, but then the next day or the next hour, you could actually be like, well, wait a minute. I've been with this person a long time. They've never touched me that way. They never kissed me there. Like, what's inspiring, the new intimacy, the new level of intimacy.
So your both is what? Like, what do you mean by both?
Both meaning, in the moment, you're happy and you're pleased. And the next moment, you're also wondering.
Okay. I got you. I mean, I feel like that's really ego. When it comes to sex, everyone has an ego. Men have egos that need to be stroked. Women have egos that need to be stroked. Now, I think where I'm jumping a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like, do you really know everything about your partner when it comes to like sex? There's people who don't know what type of porn they partner watch. They don't know. With women, sometimes people don't know their body count. What does
that have anything to do with? What does body count have to do with the conversation?
Because it has a lot to do with everything. What do you mean? And that's the thing with females too. They always trying to say, what does body count have to having to do with everything? Body count has a lot to do with that. What your partner knows, what your partner don't know.
Okay.
Like, how can the two not intertwine? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of things that go into the situation of, what do you really know about your partner? Sometimes women stumble amongst shit from their partner they didn't know. Case in point, you might not know that your man into midgets. Now, at the same point in time,
midgets.
At the same point in time, you might be 5'5", and you wondering why he watching midgets. That might be a fetish of his, but that ain't something that I see guys just going around saying, I'm just really into midgets.
Well, why not? Why not? I think this is, and this is not even the topic, but it's a great time to remind people that if you're looking for someone that you're evenly yoked with, not just someone to pass the time, if you're out there dating to find a husband, then you should put all your sexual prowesses and expectations on the table, unless you saying, well, I met the perfect girl. She happens to be 5'8", and you're in the midgets. If you have decided that this could be your future wife and you are willing to give up midgets for the rest of your life.
I'm not.
If you're not willing to give up on the midgets, then you need to tell your future wife that that's what you're into, so that there is something in place to prevent the other shit that we're going to be talking about for them. I'm trying not to go there because it's the second topic of the night. So I don't want to talk about cheating, but this is probably going to be my main focus on the next topic of why people are unhappy and it leads to cheating, because you're not even putting all your expectations on the table. When you go to college, you pick a major. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. You understand what I'm saying?
I get that, but what I'm saying is, like, for you to get up, okay. So I guess my real question is this: you're saying that at the point in time, your partner does something in the bedroom.
Correct.
That's new.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you say you happy, you catching your orgasms, you catching the shakes. You know what I'm saying? You in the middle of that nut, then that nut spill out, and then you like, wait a minute. Where they learn that from? And this is why I said about women's body count that some men don't know. Because there's tricks that your old lady got in her Rolodex that she ain't pulled out for you yet. So let's just be very clear on what I'm talking about. And if you're talking about for a man, I want you to understand is men, probably, not every man, but I'm going to go out on a limb. 90 to 95% of men probably think they are porn stars. Like, I've heard women a lot of times be like, girl, he think he tore that pussy up. Girl, he think he was just really doing something. And y'all don't make it no better. Y'all go along with the horseplay. Y'all go along with the horse shit. Sitting there, oh my God, you killing it, this and that, doing all that shit. So my point being is, like, sometimes when men see shit, like, for me, like, giving an example. If someone was to go on my Twitter right now, my Twitter is full of, like, porn and shit like that. I see shit on there sometimes. I'll be like, I might try that. I ain't learning from nobody.
I
saw it and it looked interesting.
So if your partner happened to say, damn, you know, whatever you're doing, don't stop. I love it. Where did you learn it? Or, you know, why are you doing it all of a sudden? Then the answer is, I saw the shit on Twitter. What's the big deal?
Gotcha. Now this is the big deal. Women don't believe a word that you say. Twitter, right? I'm supposed to believe you learned that trick on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to believe that. Because women already have skepticism a lot of times about niggas that they with anyway. They already in a situation where they don't believe that. They believe, and hey fellas, tell me if I'm wrong. You learned that from that bitch you was with. Oh, you learned that from someone else. Like, they always think it's a bitch somewhere else. It's that bitch underneath that rock. It's a bitch underneath that chair. It's a bitch in the bathroom with you. You know what I'm saying? So even if you say your honest opinion about that, they are combating that with they don't believe that you learned that, or you just happen to see something. They just think that you lying.
Because men are used to lying and women are used to it. So that's what the first thing that comes to mind. But that's a deeper trauma. That's a trauma thing. And I'm agreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's related to trauma. That's related to being lied to over and over again. And so, yeah, right. That's just like the dog ate your homework, but he really did. You know? So I get what you're saying. But I believe the answer is the answer. Moreover, it helps the negativity from coming to the forefront. So really, if someone has experienced something new and they begin to think, wait, he's never done that before. You know, where did he learn that from? I think the right thing to do is just ask. And I don't think you should beat yourself up for wanting to know. Because that's why the question was posed. Because considering where he got it from is a negative. Because you're saying you don't, on the overall, people are saying, what, you don't trust me? Now you want to know exactly where I got the new move from because you think I'm sleeping with someone else. Sorry. I mean, that's just the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to have the conversation so that women don't go to a negative place. They have a right to have those questions. Mm-hmm. What they shouldn't do is sit on it and let it brew, because then you start trying to connect dots that don't go together.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think every man that you've been with, you sucked his dick the exact same way?
No.
Why not?
Because dicks are different sizes.
So you think you was sucking them different because they was different size?
Oh, for sure.
And that's the only reason?
I mean, different sizes, different color tones. I mean, there's a couple veins popping out. I mean, I'm going in for the kill.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it just depends.
Okay, so have you ever been sucking a dick and the dude was like, where you know what I'm saying, where you get that from? You must be sucking a dick a long time. I'm not sure if this happened to you or not, but I'm just saying. No. Just a question. Okay, now it was a show that we had, and I was like, someone trains you how to give head at some point in time. Because a lot of women think they give good head. And there are some dudes that they might be getting head and they'll let them do a bad job. I ain't one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, teeth, up, slow down. You know what I'm saying? You have to instruct them. But there are certain times that I feel like certain women like look at porn, could be wrong, look at porn, Twitter, whatever the case may be, and be like, damn, look how this girl is sucking dick. They might be watching it with their guy and say, just looking at your reaction of your partner, like, damn, this bitch can suck dick. Mm-hmm. And then you like, I don't suck dick like that. So how is he looking at this person like this and saying he's not even getting the head? Yeah. But he's looking at her saying, damn, this bitch can really suck dick. Now, you feel like in the bedroom you finna try some shit. Now you try some shit on your dude and he be like, it was good, but where you got that from? And your rebuttal was what?
I saw you looking at someone and how they did it. Mm-hmm. So I just simulated. Simple answer.
That's right. Now, he could not believe you because he's like,
how?
Look,
He just showed me how he liked this.
No, he didn't show you. Y'all just said y'all was watching porn together. I didn't say that he's showing you. Listen to what I was saying. I said y'all could have been watching it together. I just said you could have been. Mm-hmm. Not saying that you were. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about him showing you, hey, this is how she sucked it. Okay. What I'm saying is, like, sometimes, I'll give you a different example. Like, with me, I watched a lot of porn coming up. I used to, you know what I'm saying, watch different porns, this and that. The perception from guys a lot of times is that the bigger the dick, the better. You get what I'm saying? Now, some guys might believe that. You know, there's some women that even put that out in the universe. That, you know, bigger is better. Sometimes. Depends. Some of them might be size queens. Some of them might not be size queens. But I can tell you something that was real interesting to me is like one time I was watching porn. And for me, I look at the reaction that women have when they fucking. And you can kind of tell when you looking at porn and some girl is on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just, you be like, are you fucking, you know, like, are you fucking serious? But then you have ones that look like they really into it. And you looking at how they creaming on the guy. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, now this is different. I feel like this girl right here is really, really into it. And for me, I seen one in particular where the girl was like, oh my God, I'm about to come. Now, I'm young at this point in time. I don't know nothing about what this is. But I remember saying to myself, whatever it is he did, that's the trick that you need to do. That form right there. And I remember saying to myself, like, you know what I'm saying, like any other guy, he wasn't the largest or anything like that, but it was the way he moved with her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's the stroke. That's the stroke that's the one that you need to do. So once I end up doing that, then you go into a play of that. You got a question?
Yep, got a question. Got a question from Real Rider. Why worry about her skill level or what she did before your relationship started?
You don't have to. Me personally, I don't care. Like, she brought up the idea of the topic.
Yeah, the topic being when someone does something new. Yeah. Do you enjoy that moment and want more, or do you really focus on, damn, where the fuck did he get that shit from?
Now, for me as a guy, that's why I said that's about ego. So for me, I really don't care how many body counts the person have, because I honestly feel like certain people lie anyway. So a lot of times we don't know a lot of things about the partner. So for me, I really don't care. But you can't say that about your partner, and you can't say that about certain individuals, because I'm not every man. Right. So there are certain men who want their ego stroked. There are certain women who want their ego stroked. Yeah. Should you care? That's based upon you. Do I personally care? I personally don't care. I don't know about you.
Well, I'm in between because growing up, they had the saying, "She's a chicken head." So you know if you got called chicken head that you sucked a good dick.
But that's a song. But go ahead.
But I'm just saying, people said it to each other. She a chicken head. You know what I mean? So that meant to everybody she know how to give head. So if I see her now, 20 years later, I would probably say, oh, that's the girl they used to call chicken, and a chicken head. And in my mind, does her husband know that? So I can't say that sexual past doesn't matter. No. Does it have a place? Absolutely. Because there is a time when things come back around, whether you discover them or where you heard them from the grapevine, or whether your partner just does some shit they never did to you before. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know a lot of nurses right now that are married with children. They used to be on the pole. They danced for their way through school. So I'm sure that when they met their husband, who is a doctor or a lawyer or whatever he does, and doesn't know her as a stripper, I'm sure she's probably doing some shit every now and then on the anniversary, twerking, popping it, and he might have a valid question. Like, yeah, but he probably, because these are two different people.
Gotcha. But I don't think so. See, the one thing that I'm gonna keep it real with you with is like, and this, you know what I'm saying, this is for the audience. We all know that one thing y'all don't condone is hoism. Y'all never like to admit that y'all were hoes in y'all former life. This never pops the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So if he was on the pole, if she was on the pole, guarantee he don't know she was on the pole.
Exactly. So if she does something new, he's gonna say, "Damn, babe, where you got that from?"
And she's gonna lie. She's not gonna say, "I was on the pole."
Say, well, before we met, in college, and I think that's really, to be honest, it's kind of sad that you can't tell your everyday, for the rest of your life person, that this is something that you used to do, this is something I like, this is something I want to try, because I'm so sexually open. I actually have a huge amount of empathy for people who live in secret. Mm-hmm. I wonder what the quality of life is like if you cannot, after a hard day of work, hard day of labor, or whatever you do in life, you can't come home and just be you or ask for what it is that you really want. Your wife might give you the coochie missionary because that's the way she likes to do it every time. And you may want something else. And you, to make her comfortable, talking about the guy, won't say, "Honey, bend over," just based on what that she likes. And I think that's sad. Or you might be scared to say, "Hey, you want to try anal?" because you've never done it with her. She is going to think, "Damn, anal? I've been married to you 13 years. What makes you want to fuck me in the ass right now?" You know what? These are the things that people also create. It might not even be an issue, but the issue is created because of the negative thoughts in people's head. This is not going to be accepted.
And I believe that. And that's what I'm saying. But instead of having negative thoughts, the one thing that I'm saying is you have to realize that people can grow, or people have the idea of changing their mind. You might not have wanted to do anal in your 20s. You might have been like, okay, for instance, like for me, sucking dick was considered to be a bad thing back in the day, and also eating pussy. Like if you was a man, it wasn't men running around here talking about I'm going to eat some pussy, this and that. Now we got the booty gang and everything else out here. You see what I'm saying? Like now motherfuckers out here openly talking about eating groceries, and they'll eat ass, or they want their ass.
I'm glad.
They want
I'm happy about that.
I get that, but what I'm saying is you have the idea to change, the idea of changing with the times. Like another thing for me, like having threesomes and shit like that, like in my early 20s, that wasn't a thing. You see what I'm saying? Because you really didn't have a bunch of women who liked girls, or that was a thing. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now it's like more of a thing. But when I was with my baby mama, we wasn't having threesomes. The woman that I'm with now, we have threesomes. You got a question?
Yep. All right. I don't know what to say, Ray. It's sad certain couples cannot be themselves with their partner, but will go outside the relationship.
Yeah.
Well, that's how cheating. That's what she was talking about. That's how cheating is, because I do feel like you should be honest. I will say for me, like even with the girl that I'm with now, My lady, before we started dating, one of her first things was like, well, what does it take to be with you? And my honest answer was, I mean, I like girls who like girls. Now, I often tell people, because people ask me, how did I end up in a polyamorous relationship? It's because I started that way. Now, where I feel things are fucked up is certain couples might start a relationship one way, like in a monogamous, and then they get a little bit older, and then they want to try some shit. But it's hard convincing your girl at that point in time that you've been fucking for almost 10 years, and then all of a sudden ask for a threesome. That
we have questions. Have you ever done it before? Why now? Do you have someone in mind? Who would you get for it? Because you didn't bring it to the table day one. And then even if you say, oh, I just saw it on TV and I just want to try it, I just got inspired to try it, I also think, no, I think that's bullshit. But
they're being honest, and that's kind of...
And it could be, but trust me, the seed now has been planted that, hey, you know what? Something's going on here. So trust me, from a woman's perspective, even though she may have accepted your answer, because I'm not going to call a man a liar for no reason. I have to know that you lied to call you a liar. So if that's your answer, you saw it on porn and you just want to try it, then please know that I will accept it, but the investigation is not over. Okay. So in my opinion, for I'm going to speak for myself and most women that I know, the investigation would continue. Meaning, I accept your answer. But now when you bring the girl over for the threesome, I got a couple of questions for her. How did y'all meet? You understand what I'm saying? You're going to go down a rabbit hole.
I totally get
because you didn't give me that presentation from day one. And now I'm on edge thinking, well, have you tried it with someone else and you held it back? Or whatever.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Typically, the reason why women don't get a lot of honesty a lot of times is because it's met with negativity. So I don't want to just put it on women. I'm going to just say in general, like just you being in a relationship, when you're trying to be honest with the person, instead of them accepting the honesty as being a good thing, they turn it into a negative and then start including shit that ain't there. You know what I'm saying? And then that makes the person be like, I can't be honest with you. You see what I'm saying? That's my problem with it. You see what I'm saying? Because it like, regardless of the fact, I don't eat the same shit that I ate in my teens or my 20s and my 30s. You see what I'm saying? It changed. So just like you can recognize that changed, now you're trying to tell me because I've been fucking you for 10 years, like
you won't get a new
now,
routine.
now I can't. It's impossible for me to have a new routine. I can turn in my 40s and all of a sudden want to do anal. It's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is I might not have liked it in my 20s. You understand what I'm saying? The same thing what I was saying, like pussy eating really wasn't accepted when I was in high school. When I was in my 20s, pussy eating wasn't a thing. Now, shit, you could be chilling with guys could be chilling with a whole bunch of dudes, and dudes don't have no problem with being like, oh yeah, man, I ate my girl out last night, had them legs shaking and shit like that. Like, men are more honest about that
they
shit
really
now.
are.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's a good thing. That makes me feel good.
So times have changed. So there you go.
They have. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Most of you, because this is the end of our topic. But I did pose the question on Twitter, which I don't think a lot of you guys follow me. But you can follow me at Kana Lassiter, and I want you to follow for a specific reason. Sometimes I'll test out topics, throw them out there on Twitter to see if they're even worth talking about on the show. So what do you guys?
Do a poll. You're gonna have to do a poll on Twitter.
So okay. So what do you guys think? You know, are you more of a person that's gonna live in that moment? Are you gonna go down the rabbit hole trying to investigate this new thing that your partner did or said he wanted to do in the bedroom? And so I just want to know some feedback on what particular choice you would make, which route you would go. We're going to roll into the second topic of the night is how would you possibly know that your partner is cheating if you haven't even discovered that he's unhappy, he or she? I thought this was an excellent topic. This was Alpha Male's topic that he brought to the table tonight, so I'm going to have you start.
You gotta go ladies first. You got it. You said you felt it was an excellent topic.
It really was an excellent topic because I haven't always thought this way, but in my experience, that's been my only focus. is to find out what makes a person tick, find out what makes them happy, and focusing on what makes them unhappy. So when the topic came up, I'm like, wow, this would probably help cheating. If you could recognize the drifting, if you could recognize those late nights early, you know, because there's a couple of late nights you didn't even recognize because you're in your own world. You know, there's a couple of nights he slipped in from work. You didn't say shit. You just had dinner ready. Right. You're not paying attention. And if you just took a moment to discover the unhappiness and then find out why he's unhappy or she is unhappy, you have such a great opportunity to fix it before cheating could even happen. But we put all the energy into the investigation. Mm-hmm. The damage already done if he's already sleeping with someone else. Correct. So this is about being proactive.
I mean, from me, I can, you know, of course, I'm finna speak from the standpoint of a man. And as a man, the very first thing that I can say when I notice a woman is when they talking to their homegirls, oh, everything was his fault. Nothing was your fault. Everything is his fault. He did this, he did that, he wasn't doing this, he wasn't doing that, and he wouldn't cheated on you. But one thing that I've often said to a lot of women who DM me, I get emails and stuff like that, I be like, but what led up to it? You know, did you do your due diligence as far as like take care of home? But every woman thinks that they have. And to me, in sports, boxing, football, basketball, it really doesn't matter. To beat your opponent, you need to know your opponent. And I find that with a lot of women, this is the goddamn problem. You don't know your mate. You don't know what he like. You don't know his dislikes. You don't know if he's unhappy. Like, before someone cheat, there are stages that happen before they get to cheating. Yeah. And because you don't know that your man is unhappy, you like, it's crazy to me that you can investigate every fucking thing that's going on. You can get in Facebook pages, they messengers, you can hack phones, you can do all this shit, but you can't find out if he's happy in your relationship. No. And a lot of women are entitled on that and to feel like they have to do absolutely nothing. Just show up. Like, I'm good enough. I'm just showing up. Got a question?
Sherry says most people cheat because they can, not because their partners are not doing something.
That's perception. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say for me,
I like that.
I'm gonna say for me is like, I don't feel people just cheat to cheat. That's like almost saying people just kill to kill. Like,
there is a motive.
There's always a motive behind something. Yeah. Anytime a man cheats, just because you don't know the reason why they cheated doesn't mean that there wasn't one. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for me, I didn't cheat to cheat. I cheated because I got cheated on. That's a reaction. You understand what I'm saying? So even though my woman decided that she wanted to go out, I can honestly say that there were things that I ignored that was for requests that came from her, whether that's spending time with her the way that she wanted to. She wasn't she didn't approve of my career because I'm in the entertainment field and she's not in the entertainment field. So we really didn't have a lot to talk about, even though she's saying, let's talk. And then when she meets someone that she can relate to and they can have that conversation, that's what she's overwhelmed with. Damn, I got a lot in common with this person. We're clicking on a mental thing. And that led to her not clicking with me. And then she cheated. Now, is part of that my fault? Yeah, because I wasn't paying attention to some of those things that she was asking me to do. I was thinking to myself, hey, I'm providing for you. You got a house. You got a roof over your head. You got food in here. You got everything. But that isn't enough sometimes for certain individuals. So that led to a crack in my house and someone got in.
You couldn't have said it better. You just couldn't have said it better. But even you didn't pay attention in the moment.
That's what I said.
And I think that it's easier said than done, because if half of the partner thinks everything is okay, then I can see why you wouldn't be paying attention to the home late. You don't care. You're in bliss. You could be, and I know this for a fact, You can be so happy that you just don't see it coming.
But we're not talking about the people that's happy.
No. The person, the one half, the woman. Let's say I'm the woman, my man is cheating. I don't recognize he's unhappy because I'm happy. I don't know that you don't like my cooking. I don't know that my coffee is giving you a headache in the mornings. I don't know that my breath been stank the last couple months. I don't know. I haven't found out what I've been doing to piss you off, and you haven't been forthcoming about it because you haven't been home. You've been outside. So how can you pay attention to someone's unhappiness when you're happy and you think everything is okay?
Yeah.
If you're in a routine, that can mess up everything because you just following a routine. Mm-hmm. So could that be a real issue if you just following a routine?
It could. But that will make you not pay attention because you've been doing this every day. You go to work at 8, you make his lunch, he comes home at 5, by 6 there's dinner on the table. You only have sex 3 days a week, that's been fine, you haven't complained. What is there to pay attention to when you have that routine and you're you're whistling Dixie all while doing all these routine things?
The problem is this, okay? I had a partner who actually got caught cheating. The woman in his woman actually said she blamed herself. She was mad at the simple fact that he did cheat, but she actually did blame herself. Of course, she had certain issues that was going on with her body because she was kind of sick, but they wasn't really having a bunch of sex. But after he cheated and they decided to resolve, they went to couples counseling. And then from that couples counseling, what that therapist recommended for them is when he come home from work and she come home from work, they sit down for an hour and then they talk about what goes on in their relationship and how they feel that it's going. And I feel a lot of times that routine with that's being talked about right now that's the problem. Because just because you get in a routine doesn't mean it's the right routine.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
And also not asking your mate how they feel about certain things. And I can speak from a man perspective. A man is taught just to suck shit up. The man is taught to, if you unhappy, just be unhappy. Listen to the sayings that's out here. Happy wife, happy life. Ain't got shit to do with no man. You see what I'm saying? He's taught to fall on his sword a lot of times, and women are cool with that shit all the way till they get cheated on. And then when he starts saying he unhappy, and I'm not saying this is right, but what I'm saying is if you notice after the fact, this is when the man is like, what the fuck did you expect? You haven't been home. You haven't been spending time with me. You ain't cooking for me. I get my dick sucked on Christmas and my birthday. Like, what the hell you think is gonna happen? You understand what I'm saying? And then the woman is your quote-unquote routine that's going down. You start realizing, like, wait a minute. That was the same thing for me. That's why I use me, is that just because I'm providing for somebody, that does not mean that she was getting everything she needed from me. And with my partner, it's the same scenario. Because if you think about relationships, and this is for the audience, think about relationships. Relationships only go wrong for 3 reasons: sex, money, and family. If y'all arguing about some shit, it's probably one of them goddamn 3. That's why them things go wrong. But a lot of times, those are the most uncomfortable conversations. If I don't like people in my girl's family, I'm typically mute. If something goes wrong, like sex-wise, and it's not really going on, I'm typically mute. If any one of those things happen to go down, they're uncomfortable conversations because I'm saying to myself, do I really want to argue like with my girl over this sometimes? Maybe she should figure it out. You might say the same for your man. Damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm dropping hints, and that's a lot of things with women too. Women don't talk like that. They start dropping hints. Hey, baby, you know, I think we should go out this weekend. Instead of just saying, man, baby, we ain't been out in so long. Like, I just need a weekend out, just the both of us. You understand what I'm saying? Like when shit for me, I'm in a poly relationship. When shit go left for me and we ain't had no extra pussy, and I'm like, hey babe, like we in a drought right now. I need some extracurricular going on here. You know what I'm saying? I understand you trying to do one-on-ones with me, but one-on-ones, I'm done. I'm tired of the one-on-ones. I need some extra shit. I feel like we're not honest in those type of scenarios. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like that's what goes on. Like, and even with finances, a lot of times, like finances, men hide finances sometimes. That's not a good thing either. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When shit is getting fucked up or the finances not with the par, we try to go fix it instead of letting the lady know the finances that they in.
And we need to cut back or just having that uncomfortable conversation. I agree that it's uncomfortable, but again, if you're with a person and you're expecting a long-term outcome, then it's almost, if you're not completely transparent, it's almost like signing yourself up for life of detention, kind of. It's kind of like you're signing yourself up to be limited. And I don't know why a person would do that.
But let me ask you a question, though. But why do women, like the topic, and to stay on topic, you can do all this extracurricular shit to find out about your man is cheating, but why you won't find out if he's happy? Like, that's really my issue, because, unhappy, because that's really my issue right there. Is like, women just feel like they need to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think they got the best pussy in the world, the best head in the world. They feel like they entitled because they don't really have to do anything. You got a question?
Yes. They say, what if your partner don't listen?
We all have partners that don't listen. You know what I'm saying? I honestly feel like there are things where you do have to get stern about. So if your partner don't really listen, you probably need to go see a therapist so you can have unbiased person in the room. Because a lot of times, just like for those of us who have kids, we've lived that life. We've lived an older life. But when you're trying to warn your son or your daughter about decisions that they're making because you made those decisions, they don't want to hear it. They want to do shit the hard way and then come back with their tail in between their legs. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times in relationships, you might have to stand on something that's really making you unhappy and say, listen, if we do not fix this, we're gonna end up in a divorce, or we're gonna end up being broken up. So how do we fix this? And that, to me, that is really the problem. We don't have those conversations when we're telling the person, listen, I'm reaching my breaking point. Like, I was trying to be nice about this, but you're still not doing the things that I want, or that's making me happy in this relationship. I don't know how you feel about it.
I do. I believe more than not, you have to put your foot down. Now, if it's little petty things like that, even then, I don't want to say, because I don't want to give anybody an excuse to, I don't want to say lie, but hold back what it is you really need out of a relationship. Because like I said, it's kind of like an extreme, but I like using the term sleeping with the enemy. You don't know who you're sleeping next to. You want to spend your entire life with a person. You don't know their deepest, darkest sexual fantasies. You don't know their sexual expectations. You don't know them. And if you don't know your partner, then likely, since you don't know, you can't tap into what makes them happy to begin with. And a person, like especially a man, that you say whenever something comes up sexual, men are usually mute. So I will say men and women alike on this planet, I think, move through relationships not getting 100% satisfied because they accept whatever it is that they're accepting on their partner's terms. Or they're even accepting, you know what? I do like midgets, but she's the perfect girl. So I am not going to even think about going to Amsterdam and getting me a midget prostitute. Not even going to think about it, because my girl is the love of my life. I think
that's a problem too.
It is. I
think that's a problem too.
It is a huge problem because that your desire for midgets isn't going to change because you marry someone that's 5'8".
And we probably gonna have.
It's not going to change. You still like midgets, bro.
And we probably gonna have to do a show on that goes a little bit deeper into monogamy because I feel like that's another thing that's the problem, and that's why I'm saying like, just recently, like today, I was watching the Ghetto Boys Reloaded, and they was talking about Kevin Samuels and like rating systems, and there was a woman on there saying like, well, I don't like ratings. You know what I'm saying? I get offended when people start saying things about rating or rating women or stuff like that. But I feel like we in a world that has a bunch of ratings, but the one thing that I noticed that don't get rated too high up on the scale for women is they sex. You meet any woman and a woman, all of them think they 10s. All of them. They
in the bed, you mean?
Yeah. In the bedroom. Mm-hmm. You know, they think they give the best. They think they the best head giver. They get the best wop. They think they got everything A1. And you subpar. Sometimes. Not all the time, but subpar. But my thing is, how can you feel that way when you yourself can rate the people you slept with? That's the very first thing that I ask women when they say shit like that. Like, you think you a 10. The guy that you with, is he the best lover that you ever been with? Some of them might say no. Some of them might say yeah. But how can you rate him? Because the guy that I was with before, he had a small dick. So he wasn't really touching anything, but the guy that I'm with, you're rating. Like, you're rating your sex life and you're putting them in a category. You understand what I'm saying? And for a lot of women to constantly be talking about they a 10, like, this is fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with my girl. I let her ass know, I'm like, listen, you a medium, you a large medium. You know what I'm saying?
I think you said medium large.
Yeah, medium large, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But medium large. And she looked at me like, well, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Medium large. You're not large, you medium, but a little on the large side, but not too much. But my reasoning behind saying that is she thought her pussy was small. And I can't let you get away with that lie. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm trying to say. I can't let you get away with that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because you out here trying to sell people that your vagina is extra small because you just don't really take penetration like that. So that's why you thinking that your pussy is small. I done had some small pussy. But that was a conversation that we had to have where to make her understand that, listen, I'm not saying that your pussy not good. I'm just letting you know that I do rate women. You know what I'm saying? And some of the best pussy I have had has been on the smaller side. And you just happen to not be it. Now, had I had anybody who creamed like her, she's a very good creamer. You understand what I'm saying? We rate on different scales. Just like women rate on different scales. I just asked you earlier. And what did you just say? Well, it's different shades and there's veins that pop out. And some are larger and some are medium. Yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah. I think we're right at 30. Yeah, we're right at 30. All right, I think we're top of the hour, guys. Do we have a tap in? Okay. We don't have a tap in, but you can follow me at Kayna Lassiter, and I'll take your ideas for tap ins there. Questions, comments. Make sure you follow me at Twitter at Kayna Lassiter and on IG at Kayna Lassiter.
And you can follow your boy on both platforms. That's 51 Spade on IG and Twitter. Hey, make sure that y'all follow us on our TikTok and Relations page. It's the Relations Podcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us on TikTok and for the questions. If you're looking for these shirts, you can find it at Alpha Male God Creations on IG. Hey, we are taking donations. Help the show grow. You want more shows, we can bring you more shows. Hey, you can send that to the Cash App, $ Alpha Male God. That's $ Alpha Male God. We helping the show grow. We want to bring y'all more shows, and I want to thank everybody for joining in and tuning. I hope y'all had a good time, and I'm gonna sign us out like we always do about this time.